Today I'm drawing a pattern that is really fun to do. It's quite simple and it's just extremely repetitive. So start off by drawing a semicircle in a corner of your page and draw a petal. Repeat that petal across the line of that semicircle and then draw the next one and go on. You can do this with any shape petal. I decided to do one that has a point at the top, and then you can give it an inline or outline, whichever way you decide to do it first. And in between each one of those petals, you just draw a semicircle and then you give it an outline. And this is one of the most basic starting points. If you'd like to go into more detail with an artwork like this is where you start. I've filled in a few of the semicircles with smaller petals. And then you can go ahead and add some straight lines as a background. It adds a nice contrast to the rest of the curves that are going on in this work. If you add a different pattern in the background, you can do another outline if you like, or you can add circles or swirly lines. It doesn't really matter too much, but just something a little bit different to break up the pattern. This part is optional. I usually go through all of my artworks and thicken up the lines with a fine line pen. I usually start off with a texture that's a little bit thicker than a fine line. And if I notice that there's any imperfections or any parts of the work that don't quite match up the way that I want it to, I just go over the whole thing with a fine line. And as you can see there, it changes the thickness of the line quite substantially if you want it to. Otherwise, you can just go ahead and move on to the next step without doing this. I decided to add some color to this pattern, and I chose a few earthy tones and some yellow. I thought that would look good together. I only chose 3 colors though, so I chose a yellow, a sort of red brick color, and a mustard. I think it's really nice when you use repetition with the color as well as you did with the pattern, only because it adds a really nice cohesive look and really stresses that there is a pattern going on here when you repeat the colors in the same way as you did. But you know, I have seen other people use like a color gradient across the page, which also looks absolutely amazing. I've seen people do much less, just adding a little splash of color. And then I've seen also artworks that have the entire thing covered in color. I decided to only keep it minimal today and just to use these 3 colors. And I think it looks quite nice. Here's the finished product. What do you think? I've really enjoyed drawing this. I found it to be really relaxing, super duper simple, and just the colors gave it a nice little pop. I was thinking of coloring the background, but then I changed my mind. What do you think? Do you think it would have looked better with different colors? Let me know in the chat. And if you want to see me live, please pop over to TikTok, where I usually do lives and drawing tutorials. See ya!